You know that feeling when something is almost human, but not quite. Your brain notices before you, and there's a flicker of, oh, wait, what am I looking at? And then a little chill runs the back of your neck. I've been watching robots for years, and for a long time they were very impressive, but they were very obviously machines too. Clunky, cold, and you never once forgot you were looking at a metal and a bunch of motors. And that's changed, and in the last few months a wave of new humanoids has come out of China and the US, and a few of them genuinely made me lean closer to my screen and go, okay, that's not okay. And they don't just look human. Some of them feel human, remember you, and read the mood you're in. So let me walk you through the ones that crossed the line for me, and I'd love for you to come along for the ride. And if you enjoy this kind of thing, hit the subscribe button now so you don't miss where this is heading, because trust me, it's moving fast. So let's get into it. Let's start with the one that's actually going on sale to regular people, because that's the part that got me. The China's company UBTECH just opened pre-orders for a robot called the U1 under a brand new consumer label called UWorld. They're marketing it as the world's first full-size ultra-bionic humanoid robot for emotional companionship, and they're not new to this. UBTECH spent years refining full-size humanoids for factory floors at places like NIO and FAW Volkswagen, so this isn't a startup with a render and a dream. There's a male version and a female version. The male version is 183 centimeters, the female is 168 centimeters, and both advertise at 88 degrees of freedom, Wi-Fi, and 2 to 4 hours of battery per charge. That 88 number matters because it's basically how many independent ways the body can move, and more of them means gestures that read as natural instead of robotic. But the part that got under my skin is the AI. The robot maintains conversations, recognizes moods, and adapts their responses, analyzing your facial expression, tone of voice, and speaking patterns to estimate how you're feeling. When you seem stressed or maybe unhappy, it can offer supportive dialogue, and it remembers. Personal memories and conversation data are stored locally with encryption, and you can customize the appearance and personality over time. That local encryption detail is the part that I appreciate the most. A robot that lives in your home and remembers your routines is a privacy nightmare if all of that sits on some cloud server. Keeping it on the device is the right call, and I'm genuinely glad they led with it. Now, let's be real about what it can and what it can't do. It can get up, sit, and move across flat indoor surfaces using taut gait patterns, but it's not built for stairs, rough terrain, or chores. It's there to talk to you and to be present. And people clearly want that because reservations passed 2,110 units within 6 days on JD.com. The androids are expected to cost around $30,000, with a full launch event set for June 30th. A robot that costs as much as a car and exists purely to keep you company. 5 years ago, that's a sci-fi premise. Now it's a deposit on a shopping site. Okay, this next one is where I had to put my coffee down. A Shanghai startup called DroidUp built a robot named Moya that they call the world's first fully biomimetic robot. The headline feature isn't how she looks, it's how she feels. Moya has a warm skin between 90 and 97 degrees Fahrenheit, which is roughly the same temperature as a real human body. Think about that. Warmth removes one of the few clear signals that separates machines from humans. Every robot you've ever touched was cold, and that coldness is your brain's little safety net telling you this is an object. Moya removes that net on purpose, and it goes deeper than the surface. Her exterior is soft, silicone-based skin over pliable padding that mimics human flesh, complete with an internal ribcage. Underneath, she runs on the Walker 3 skeleton, with lightweight lattice muscle structures for fluid movement. There are cameras behind her eyes, and AI generates micro-expressions like joy, surprise, and concern in real time, with natural transitions between them. She's about 5.5 feet tall and weighs some 70 pounds, and DroidUp claims her walking posture is 92% accurate compared to human gait, though watching the footage, that last 8% is doing a lot of heavy lifting. She still moves a bit like someone who skipped the warm-up at the gym, but the intent is unmistakable. The philosophy actually moves me a little. Founder Lee Kwing-doo's idea is that a robot meant to serve people in healthcare or at home shouldn't be a cold object, and it should offer the comfort of a living presence. For an elderly person who's alone, a warm hand to hold genuinely might matter. The price keeps it exclusive for now though, and at around $173,000, it's aimed mostly at institutions with a launch plan for late 2026. Not every robot wants to be your friend. Some just want to work at the front desk, and one of them is shockingly good at it. A startup called Noetix built the Hobbs W1, designed for jobs that face the public. It combines a female-styled lifelike bionic head with dexterous 6 DOF hands and 5 DOF arms, plus fully autonomous navigation so it can do reception and guidance while moving naturally alongside people. The face is the star here. The head has 32 active degrees of freedom, giving precise control and extremely high degree of realism. The skin is specially designed platinum silicone whose texture, pattern, and elasticity closely replicate real human skin. It can simulate emotions like smile, sadness, and agreement, and it generates the right mouth shapes in real time as it speaks. What makes it practical instead of a showpiece is those hands. Unlike most social robots that lean on screens and speech, it's dexterous enough to hand people objects, press buttons, open doors, and do basic pick and place, and its head has dual GPUs for onboard AI, so it can interact without constant cloud connectivity. It's currently available for around $73,000, and I like this one precisely because it isn't pretending to be your soulmate. It's a tool with a friendly face, and that feels like a healthier place for this tech to land. Now, here's a company that takes the opposite approach, and I find it weirdly honest. Realbotix, a US company, makes a humanoid called Aria. She replicates subtle human expressions through 17 facial motors, and her AI remembers your preferences and adapts its personality, and her modular design lets you swap faces and voices instantly. Embedded in the irises are micro cameras that track movement, recognize objects, and hold eye contact. What I appreciate is that Realbotix isn't shy about the machinery underneath. They've shown the bare unskinned version, basically a metallic skull moving through expressions, and it makes you realize the eeriness was never really about the skin. It's the gaze, it's the timing. She runs on Realbotix OS and can plug into the external AI models, and the AI supports over 100 languages. She's also the most accessible on the lower end, coming in 3 versions: a bust, which costs around $10,000 to $12,000, a modular version at $150,000, and a full body model at $175,000. The CEO talks openly about it tackling loneliness, and whatever you think of that, they're clearly betting on connection over chores. And then, there's this stuff that's just plain showing off. At a robot gala for the 2026 Chinese New Year, an ultra-realistic humanoid from a company called AheadForm took the stage in sand, and its facial expression looks strikingly lifelike. Their Elf-Xuan model has over 30 degrees of freedom in the face, with silicone skin accurate to within a millimeter, so you can see blood vessels and fine features. A robot singing an original love song to an audience of other robots. We're in deep and strange new territory. Meanwhile, a company called LimX showed off a robot named Luna. At the Taobao Influencer Festival in March 2026, Luna captivated crowds with a flawless catwalk strut and a gymnastic illusion turn that showed off pinpoint balance. The clever part is how it learns. It can imitate complex human movements directly from video, show it a clip, and it copies the motion. That's how you get a machine that walks the runway like it took lessons. Now, with all of this in mind, where does this leave us? Here's where I've landed. The line we used to count on, the one that said human is warm and remembers and emotes while machine is cold and blank and stiff, is dissolving in real time. Warm skin erase the temperature tell. Local memory means these things actually know you. Micro expressions mean they react to your face. And none of this is a concept video anymore. People are putting down deposits. Companies are signing deployment contracts. Do I find parts of it unsettling? Yes, Absolutely. The uncanny feeling is real, and I don't think we should rush to suppress it because it's our instinct doing useful work. But I also can't ignore the upside. A warm presence for someone who's isolated. A patient helper that never gets tired. A face that makes technology feel a little less hostile. I'm genuinely optimistic that, handled with care, this becomes one of the more human things we've ever built. And not the least, the real questions aren't about engineering anymore. That part's basically solved. The questions are about us. How much do we want to feel for a machine, and are we ready for it to feel like it feels back? I want to know where you stand on this. Does warm robot skin sound comforting, or does it make your skin crawl? Drop your opinions in the comments because I read them, and if this video gave you something to chew on, do me a quick favor and hit that like button because it genuinely helps more than you think, and subscribe if you haven't already so you're here when the next one crosses a line we didn't even know was there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.